This is still during Kemsha, and we are right now going to have our segment Business Insight. This is where we invite our experts discussing Cummins business trends and the challenges, and also the solutions to some of the emerging gaps. So on this particular segment, we have Mr. Julius Odeke, who is from Investing Financials Uganda Limited, yes. And these ones are adept at actually enabling awareness building, yes, about financial crime. Awareness building about crime, especially financial fraud, yes, fraud within the companies, and you have had some experience with cooperatives, you have actually worked with individual companies, but also remember in the first earlier hours, we were talking about our particular responsibilities as individuals, because we basically as individuals also fall victim to this crowd. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
How is the fraud setting at the moment? Is it on the high? Is it on the high or it's on the low?
It's on the high. It's surging.
It is surging.
Yes.
Why do you think this is happening, especially in an era like this?
Okay, first of all, before I go on to that, yes, I would wish to start by thanking our listeners and viewers out there and to introduce myself properly. Yeah. My name is Julius Odeke. I'm from Investing Financials Uganda Limited. Investing Financials Uganda Limited is a capacity building, trainings and consultancy company. We are located in Salama Road. So our niche today, we wanted to tackle this perennial cancer of business operations, that's the operationally frauds. Fraud has really now penetrated every sector, not only in businesses. So, basically going back to what you asked me, I would wish to start by what people out there already have some bit of knowledge about the obvious. Currently,
How? What are those particular ways so that we can know them? Because some of the issues that we're having is really ignorance. We don't know so much.
Yes.
And because this is a digital age, everything is changing every single day. Even as we speak right now,
yes,
something is changing. You have worked in the banking sector before. You have experienced issues with fraud before. But as a person, now that you are aware, give us some of the scenarios in which we should be aware of fraud, especially in regards to finances, before we get to the companies.
Okay, now, in that regard, you asked me about the ways. I would wish to share with like two ways.
Yes.
These days, people call you, someone can call you directly because we have a technology at hand.
Yeah.
technology is available. People know you. People who don't know you, they know you.
Yes.
Someone just calls you that, I'm so. Am I speaking to Doreen Kemgisha? You said yes. So I'm calling you from this company. In our company, we are doing this kind of business. So your phone number is one of the lucky ones. You have won this.
Oh, yes.
So that our system, computer system, has displayed your number. Has chosen you. So now what you're going to do, we need you to at least have some little money to process, transfer of this, what you have won onto your name. So you can get excited. Just because of this phone call, you do this and that, you start borrowing money here and there.
Yes.
They can call you when you do not have that money. That you just prepare like 500,000. So this 500,000, I won a motorcycle which is worth 5 million. So I have nothing to lose.
Yes.
So you get excited, and before you know it, you send that money.
Yes.
After sending the money, you try to make follow-ups, the money is not picking.
Not picking. Actually, there was a so-called quote-unquote a priest calling.
Yes.
And
pastors.
I personally got a call from a priest whose mother, yes, quote-unquote, whose mother had been bedridden.
Yes.
And I think he had lost some money or something like that, so he needed 100,000.
Yeah. Just 100,000.
And when he gets back to the diocese or to wherever is his office, he's going to send me an additional 200. That was way back. That was over many years back. And you know, these calls are still happening because we've had a number of people tell us their stories.
Yes.
And then tell us, you know what, this sort of thing is still happening. People are still being victims.
Yes.
To this sort of fraud. Even within, at first it used to be within the villages most of the times, but even now within the urban centers, it is still rife.
Yes.
Yes.
So I personally, also at personal level, I ever witnessed a scenario. Someone called me that, Julius Odeke, yes, I'm calling you from this place. I have this kind of a challenge. My mother is sick, is being admitted in Lacho. Lacho is in Igulo.
Yes.
That his OB in his secondary school in Tororo. So because I have knowledge about fraud, I started challenging him this and that. I asked him about our former teachers.
Yes.
Of 20 years ago in S4. He was naive. Yes. So like, this guy is really what? He's on top of the game.
Yeah. So he switched off.
Yeah, he cut me off because he couldn't answer the pertinent questions I wanted him to answer. So another way is through phishing. That's the word in technology.
Yeah.
You can get an email. So you don't know how these people get our email addresses. You open your email and someone tells you this and that. I have, my father died in this place. He left this kind of assets. Yeah. Now I want to transfer from Kenya to Uganda. You start getting excited. I want you to help me to establish business in Uganda. You're not knowing when you respond to such an email, he's getting your particulars.
Oh, yes.
The other side of the river.
Yes.
So, getting your particulars, that's exactly, he will ask you for this and that, he will ask you for account number, that now I want to transfer this money to.
Yes, to you.
They will ask you for SWIFT code of your bank. He will ask you for this, everything to do with your online banking. So for you send ignorantly. The other person gets everything about you. Yes. So that's one of the ways.
What about those instances, just like we had mentioned, whereby you wonder, because you mentioned something about how do they get our emails? How do they get our email addresses? How do they get our phone numbers? Do they connive? Do they connive with the phone companies? What is that even a possibility? Do you think it's a possibility?
Okay, there are these scenarios of like hacking the system, like in the financial industry. Those people can really hack into the system and they know in and out about you.
Yes.
They know how much you have on this account. They know the dollar accounts you have. So they have that possibility of connivance also with the the insiders.
Yes.
That his son so has this much in his account. So before you know, you have been defrauded.
Yeah.
So now that again we have a lot of like government registrations.
True.
We have
For
NIRA.
the IDs, we have this.
We have.
They also actually put you. They make you vulnerable.
Like for example, if you register a company with URSB, URSB shares information with URA. Yeah. Now their networks are also again connected to NIRA.
Yes.
NIRA is now connected to WUBOS.
Oh, so that means that any one time, if any of these entities are actually, these institutions are hacked.
Yes, so that's why right now, like in the Georgian House, all these officers are in the same room. Yes. Because they share information. So there are people who are very sophisticated in technology. Their work is
basically to hack.
Yes. To seek for information technological wise. So you find that they even have more knowledge than people who work in these institutions.
Sure.
Yeah. So it needs also these people to be sophisticated in terms of knowledge, to know.
Like the saying goes,
yeah.
To catch a thief, you need to be.
Yes, to be on top of your game.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but back, even as we talk about the individual ways, yes,
yeah.
in which some of us as individuals, the person watching out there, how they can actually get into problems, get defrauded. What do you think? Because we're talking about now individual responsibility. What do you think I should do per se, and the person watching? What do you think we should do to protect ourselves individually as individuals?
Okay, first of all, most of these scenarios comes with a lot of excitement. Yes. Like you have won this and that. So what the information I need to give people out there is no free money. You just have that mindset. That money is a reward for solving a problem. I can't just give you my free money just like that. So if I have that knowledge, it means even if you call money to excite me, I will not get excited. So you need to have a second thought
about anyone
offering you free money or easy money. That how lucky are you really to be among the 50 million Ugandans to have won this money or this motorcycle. So right now we have a lot of economy is hard. So when someone tells you have hit this jackpot, before you know it, you get excited. People now cook stories like in betting. Yes. That son so won this 300 million, and people are really going, abandoning what they are doing to start betting, not knowing that these fraudsters they are now working with those betting companies. You've created a very, very sweet story that a student of this university won in this 200 million and now has even abandoned schooling.
So what you're saying is that we should be cautious.
Yeah, we will be cautious.
Avoid getting overexcited, especially when it comes to money.
Yes.
Calls, random calls.
Random calls.
But the person out there is also looking and saying, what about those instances when this is a genuine call? This could be
okay,
call, and their campaigns, their promotions going on simultaneously. And I don't want to lose out. I don't want to lose my motorcycle and to lose my 1 million shillings. So how do I differentiate between a bogus, money call and the genuine one?
Okay, in most cases, these companies, when they are going to initiate a promotion, they alert the target audience that in case you win something, this is strict. We are going to use only one telephone number, 0312 100 100. So there's no any other number from this company which will call you apart from this. Now these fraudsters on the street, they are using personal line. So that's an indication that this is a fraudster.
Surely.
Because if I'm working with Smart 24, I don't need to call customers using my personal line. It creates a sense of suspicion. So you can just something should be official.
Yes.
An office line. And they rarely use different lines. They use strictly one line. So and these promotions are really publicized on TV, in the newspapers,
the radios as well.
The radios. So at least you have knowledge about what's going on your fingertips.
So assuming that someone does not have the knowledge, this is someone in the village,
yes.
They don't have the TV, they don't read the papers, yes? The radio is on and off because they're in the garden. How does that person, protect themselves, yes? And two, also at the same time, not actually lose out on a genuine call if it is actually him or her who was really one that prize money. How?
Okay, in that situation, if it's me who has been called, there in the village and I don't know anything, I need to have a second thought. At least I need to share with the Doreen, I share with the son. So if you share with the 3 people, the chance of you being brought back to the line, they're like, no, it can't be. Let me call those people and confirm.
Yes.
There's a chance of preventing that occurrence. But if you just want to do things in secrecy, alone, you call me.
You don't want people to know.
You don't want people to know. I want to surprise people.
Yes.
That's where the danger comes.
That's
but when you because
involve as many people as possible.
Yes.
In this, that excitement should not actually get you into secrecy. That excitement should call as many on board as possible.
You share at least with someone. If you share with the 3 people, the chance of one person having some bit of knowledge, like I ever received this kind of a call, and my experience was like this. These people one time scammed me. And mind you, people who are being scammed are in the villages. I know people who have been scammed.
So many, but that's where it comes in.
Yes.
Especially when the excitement is there, and then someone is telling you have won 10 million.
Yes.
This is a person who really needs money, a farmer or a businessman in town. Yes, and 10 million. So the very first instinct, really, the reflex is to basically keep it to himself, and that is where the problem comes in.
Yes.
When you keep it to yourself, that means now you even become more vulnerable because you're not involving anyone.
You keep it to yourself, it's dangerous.
Yes.
But when you share, we say a problem shared is a problem solved.
Yes. Let's now get into let's knowing that Smart 24 TV is driving business. Let's get into the companies.
Yes. Yeah.
According to a KPMG fraud survey, yes. They were talking about how most of the monies actually that are lost by FIs, the financial institutions, only around 20% or even less is recovered, and the rest has to be, they have to figure out how to pay it back, either through the difference insurance or whatnot. But only around 20% or less than that is actually recovered back. Now we are talking about an increase in hacking. We are talking about an increase in trails, really, that you can't even track, you can't even trace. Someone just comes and before you know it, you're putting in your ATM card and it shows you it's empty. Yes? Last night when you withdrew money, it was 35 million. Now it is 0, it is empty. And then you run to the bank and the bank is telling you, we don't have an idea. They try to get people on board to trace it and it just disappears because the hackers are getting smarter every day.
Yes.
So how is it, you who worked in the banking sector at one time, how have you dealt? Have you seen things such as this? And how has it been dealt with?
Okay, like I told you, I shared with you, I was in banking for over 10 years with different banks. I worked with the Stanbic Bank, then I went and worked with Standard Chartered. So like in banking, every day comes with the new challenges and the new opportunities. We witnessed so many scenarios because I was a teller, I was an ATM custodian, I was a vault custodian, I was in charge of online banking, registering customers, and investigating such allegations. And indeed, we interfaced. There are some allegations the customer makes, and you sense that is the truth.
And that is the story.
The really truth.
That is the story that we want to get into. But before we get into that, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
You're welcome.
Smart 24, driving business.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at CSUN Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. CSUN Hotels, luxury redefined.
This is Jordan. When it comes to classwork, Jordan is magic. Jordan shines. Jordan makes his peers better. Jordan is a true leader. White Star Magic family. Be a leader. Be magic.
The National Population and Housing Census 2024 is here. Uganda is to conduct the Census 2024 this May to update our population status that will support government to plan for every citizen. The numeration team is in the field to respond to all the necessary interests by you and me as they register all of us. Note that the census night is 9th May 2024. Let us all be part of this exercise by working with the numerators, provide correct data and information. This exercise is to assist the government in planning government resources properly, provide efficient service delivery, and the formulation of national policies. The numeration will start on the 10th to 19th, 2024, and the counting will be done at our homes or places of residence. The Census 2024, it matters to be counted. This message is brought to you by Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and the Government of Uganda.
We've been through a lot. The only reason why we are still standing is because we're the Kirundas. And therefore the need to keep that name and legacy alive.
There's something you're not telling us.
What are you talking about?
So you knew about the people that killed Teresa and you kept it to yourself.
Lucy, the last time we did not do it properly.
Smart 24, driving business.
Yes, welcome back. We are still here at Business Insight and Doreen Kemcha, Smart 24 TV. We are still talking to Mr. Julius Odeke, who is from Investing Financials Limited, and is giving us insight into how to prevent fraud.
Yes.
Not only within as individuals, but actually also as company owners. So you were telling us your own experience that you had gone through, Julius?
Yes, I was on the experience scenarios, like in the banking industry. In the banking industry, that's where the hot item which makes people fraudulent. That's money. Eh?
Money.
Yes, that's where the money is. So we had scenarios like, for example, account takeover. Someone just takes over an account and starts operating it.
Is that the same as identity theft?
Not as such.
It's different.
Identity theft deals with like technology. Like when someone fails to positively identify a customer. So we have scenarios of ATM fraud. That's where this is a very, very hot area. Common. Very, very common. Yeah. People tend to, like at family level, if you find that someone has an account in the bank, but it's free with the family. Anyone can go and withdraw. Say, okay, now this is the card, this is the PIN number.
Sharing passwords.
Sharing password. Now, on the one particular time, someone can pick that card without your knowledge. Yes. After all, the card is here and I know the PIN number. Someone goes, and these days machines can give up to 5 million. Yes. So someone goes to any machine in Kampala here and withdraws. So you will only get an alert. Like,
this man has
there's a message.
Yes.
Now you come to the bank, you call, you can even start calling that, hey, I've got this message. Someone has withdrawn my money, 5 million. Go to ATM. But I'm at home. At this time, this second.
And they'll begin to...
They start asking,
who has your card?
But they ask you, but you are the owner of the card. Who did you give to someone that? No. Yeah. Do you have it there? Do you have it with you right now? That let me first check. You try to check, it's not there.
Yes.
Now, for banks, they have also their own...
Insiders.
It is not as such. They have the fallback position. We have cameras in those ATM cards, machines. Yeah. Now you will run to the bank, it's okay, now let you come to this branch, and we go and identify what really happened. They go to the camera, they run, they show you the person, the time. Yeah. It's exactly 9:33 and this second. Do you know this person?
But that can only work, I believe, if the person is not shrewd enough to tape, to tape the... Can that one can also...
As in taping off the camera?
Yeah, taping off the camera. Can that happen as well?
No, like maybe, for example, if you covered it, because the camera, where it is being mounted from is not within the ATM lobby. It's from somewhere else. Oh. So you cannot switch it on unless you cover it. But still, that kind of knowledge will not be with you. Because you will not even think that they will make a follow-up. Yeah. Now this is the person who comes and they view the camera and they realize that it's the wife. Yes. Like, but this is my wife. Oh, yes. This is my son.
Those scenarios have happened.
Have happened and they are happening and they will continue happening. Unless we stop like the scenario of sharing ATM card and the passwords.
Yes.
But it's unavoidable. Because once I trust you with my ATM card, it means I'm close to you. So but there's that betrayal.
Yes. So the best thing to do is actually be as open as possible and cautious. Yes.
Yes.
Put in place a system of honesty. If we are talking about now the home front, put it within within your house a system of honesty. If you're going to keep your cards away, or if you're going to share your pins, your codes together, then let there be a system of honesty and the boundaries are in place about who can and who cannot.
Yes.
Maybe that would work. Now we're talking about also the fact about maybe cooperatives, which are all over the place and they are doing such great work at savings.
Yes.
Yes, improving the savings, especially for women and other farmer groups and all these who actually help this form the backbone of this economy. The reality about it is that these monies are also being banked. They are put there, and now you're telling us that some of the internal controls may fall loose, may fall apart. How is that particular circle that is there seated and they are getting all this money through their sweat? How should they be comfortable knowing that their monies are not going to disappear within the banks?
Okay, for one, the principle of cooperatives. Cooperatives is self-managed, meaning people who are going to run and manage this cooperative, they are mainly members. So I'm urging them to to have people of integrity, people who have been tested and found to be really reliable, and who can really have that spirit of being there for the survival of this, of all.
Yes.
Having concern, having that Ubuntu spirit. Yes, that scenario. Then
that is from the scenario of within the cooperative.
Within the cooperative.
Yes.
Then, in most cases, these cooperatives, they have their accounts with these major banks. There should be segregation. Now we are talking in the aspect of controls.
Yes.
There should be segregation of duties. Not the top managers being the signatories as such. I can be the chairman, I can be the secretary, I can be the treasurer. Yes, there should be segregation of duties. As the chairman, I should not do everything, because based on experience, majority of frauds in cooperatives are executed by leaders. Me as an ordinary member, my work is to come on a Sunday, bring my 10,000. They tell me that now you have accumulated like 200,000. I go back. Then tomorrow, when things happen, the unusual happens, it's the leaders, because these are the people who are the signatories. These are the people who are driving the direction of the circle. So there should be segregation of duties. There should be tight internal controls, checks and balances. Checks and balances are supposed to be there.
Yes.
Yes.
What about from the side of where they have put their monies? Because you see, what used to happen in most of these institutions way back was they would have the castle mentality. Yes, you have brought your money to this.
Yes.
No one will come, will get out.
Yes.
It is secure. But we are beginning to see more and more instances where that castle mentality is coming loose.
Yes.
Because right now even the money is being stolen within the banks. So back to that particular cooperative member, how are they to be sure that that may be, what can they do to make sure that that cannot happen? Or better still, let us word it rightly. What can the bank do to make sure that the farmers' monies does not move away? It does not get stolen.
Okay, now, as members, there should be, for example, accountability. There are cooperatives which don't even call for meetings. Yes. So if, like, for example, in our constitution, we agreed that there should be quarterly meetings. You know, it's more dangerous if you take like a year.
Oh, yeah, because a lot would happen.
A lot would have happened. But if within 3 months, you come back and you publicize what transpired in the last 90 days. It's like now for you from 1st of January to 31st of March, you had saved this, you had withdrawn this, and this is your balance. It's much safer compared to if you take a year.
Have regular meetings.
Regular meetings.
Yes. Financial regular meetings.
Yes. Such that in case something happens, someone can dispute it. And recalling something which happened in 90 days is easier than recalling in 1 year.
Yes.
So having these meetings are very important. And there are leaders who are just deliberate, not calling for meetings, because they know very well that members will put them to task for accountability. Something which they like.
So they try to evade that.
Yes.
So we've got two on the sides of the business owner, of the cooperatives out there, and all those ones wishing to join. You have mentioned 2 particular sides, not only just actually 3. As an individual, be very aware, be very cautious about how you share your passwords and all your personal information. Be very, very particular about it. Be cautious. Do not just be loose with your personal information and also your personal. There's sometimes when someone gets those cards, the bank cards, and then writes the PIN behind.
Yes.
Please just stop that, because that means at any one time if it gets lost, then the person who picks up your details can basically access your account.
Yes.
Number 2, you mentioned that if at all you're part of a cooperative, part of a savings group, and you know that you are banking,
yes,
make sure that the signatories are far and wide, not necessarily management only.
Yes.
Because the challenge with management is that once they get into cahoots to steal your money, surely they will do it because they are normally the signatories at the needed for bank withdrawals.
Yes.
So for those ones, insist that it is part of management. the accountant, but also you have as many members on board as possible, members of that particular group.
Yes.
Number 3, the third one, you also mentioned.
We need to adopt to technology.
Yes.
There are cooperatives which have money, but they are still using these cash boxes. They are based in the villages, which is very dangerous. That's where the stories of like, oh, someone stole money, or the house got burnt. I was like, in some places, people just steal money and they burn the houses, these grass-thatched houses. And they say that I was in this situation. People come and say, like, yeah, this house got burnt. So we also need to use our sixth sense, making fair judgment. Who really qualifies to, who really qualifies to keep this money? I think the bank's much.
The bank, yes, even as there's a little bit of hocus pocus and all these people are getting a little bit jittery, the reality is that the bank is still the safest way to keep your money. But also number 3, as we talked about, please hold regular financial meetings. This will help you keep track and also get to know exactly who, maybe if there's any misappropriation, it will be caught on early rather than later. Let's get back to the internal controls and the external controls for the financial institutions that are actually keeping these people's money. What is their responsibility? The onus is also on them to do something. If you put out all this and say, you know what, come and get this account, I will keep your money well, not only that, but you'll be able to access finance and your credibility will grow. What are you doing as a bank to ensure that my money is safe?
Yes, well, in that area, we shall talk about the internal control systems. We should embed a culture of integrity among the banking staff. Because by the time the customers or members of a cooperative come and choose you as their banker, it means they must have had that sense of trust. So we, as banks needed to first start with the in-house cleaning.
Yes.
That yes, these people really trusted us. You need to ask yourself, why did they use us among these 20 plus banks?
Yes.
So, because I mean the internal staff must have that sense of integrity, that yes, we have been interested in this money and this money is not ours. So these people have rights to come for it as and when they want it. You can't, and they don't expect scenarios of like, you see, this and this happened, we are not ready to give you money at this time. We are still having issues of this type, we are investigating this and that. So knowledge, the banks need to have built the knowledge base of their staff members. And they also need to invest in technology.
And that investment comes at a cost.
Yes.
A huge cost.
Technology, they have to be on top of the game. Because
do you think banks are willing to actually get into this? Because this is not even just a one-off.
Yes.
You know? This technology can be obsolete after a year.
Yes.
Yes. And it has to be updated every now and then. Because every time there's a new software coming out to help you. Yes?
And the other people also out there, they are really researching about what you, Because when you bring in a new software, you tell people through newspapers, you tell people about this and that,
and
they come to know. Gaps. They also look for gaps in that scenario. So what I wanted to say is, it's spending money or spending the dollars is unavoidable, because we normally say that when you lose money, you lose nothing.
Yes.
But when you lose a name, you lose everything. Your reputation is very, very important.
Yes.
So we shouldn't give the fraudsters chance. In other words, in short, we need to robust internal controls. We keep on checking if it is still working. Internal staff, because scenario, I mean fraud is a scenario. Someone just wakes up and like, no.
Says these people have overworked me and paid for long. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And before you know it, he picks up his phone and a conspiracy. And
we normally say, you rather get defrauded by your employee as a company than an employee defrauding a customer. Because that it's a bit safer,
Yes.
if you If an employee defrauds the company you are working for, but not defrauding the customer of the company, because the customer is not going to keep quiet.
Oh, the customer is going to tell so many.
You know, these days we say almost everyone is a journalist.
Yes.
I photograph anything and I post anywhere.
True.
And before you know, the whole world,
it's viral.
How do you defend yourself in that situation? So internal staff integrity needs to be on point.
Yes.
And the management has to be there,
to be
invest,
vigilant.
to be vigilant, alert.
Because among you can't say that in every company everyone is the white sheep. There's always a black sheep.
Yes.
Not even one, but many. Yes. So the idea about it is that maybe routinely the companies really have to put in place their internal controls, make sure that their fraud risk management efforts are routine and they are heightened.
Yes.
Otherwise, if they don't do that and they say, you know what, this is the latest package, it should be able to take us, this software should be able to take us for the next 2 years, without even thinking about maybe an update or something like that, then they put themselves open to fraudsters coming in. Now, when we come to think about the cost implications and the regularity, of ensuring that these controls are put in place, or even getting consultants such as you to come in and train, you don't do it free. Do you do it free?
No. We charge.
Yes, you do it. You charge. What package do you think that maybe the company out there that is beginning to take this into stride, cannot give up hope and say, you know what, let me try this package. What package do you recommend that maybe the person out there who has just started their small company and wants to put in place something can actually do? So as a starter.
Yes, well, for businesses outside there, both the product oriented and service oriented, there is now cancer of fraud. So we have a topic of anti-fraud awareness for stakeholders in companies. Those are employees and employers. As an employer has invested dollars and pounds, they need to invest more in trainings, capacity building. So fraud is now real and we can't go out of them. We can't deny ourselves that are for mom's sake. So in this particular anti-fraud awareness training, I encourage companies to get knowledge about what fraud is, about the types of frauds in companies, about the characteristics of fraudsters, about the consequences. Fraud has consequences to both the employee and the employer. Then, at the end of the day, we need to recommend tight or robust internal controls. And they need to get such knowledge from the experts, from the trainers. We have such knowledge, and we are encouraging them not to lose hope because we are really available. We are ready to avail ourselves and help them out. Train for them employees. There are so many big companies out there which don't have complete systems.
Or even for any functional system, not even complete systems, but any functional systems, especially for the small upcoming companies that are just thinking about survival. And maybe don't think that it is necessary. Even as their monies are growing, they don't think it is necessary at the moment. They are thinking that maybe I will put these systems, these internal controls, once I'm getting 1 billion, 100 million, that is where they want to start from. So what I want you to look right into that camera and encourage that particular person, that young budding company owner that believes that internal controls against fraud are only for multimillionaires.
Yes, okay. One, I would like to rub the myth of when we talk of frauds, people tend to zero it on banks. We have inventory fraud, we have the payroll fraud, we have accounting fraud. In fact, it's silent in manufacturing organization, product oriented. So, as a startup, you need to fraud because people are willing and ready to defraud you from the word you go. From the registration time. I had a scenario where someone went to register a company and got people the registration there, and it was different. To register your company, someone comes and tells you, I can help you to execute this. Disappeared. Such a person don't, they disown them. Yes. So if you can be defrauded at the start, how about when you're in the process?
But I remember a conversation, yes, and they say, you know what, in any place you will always have people come in and pretend to be, but the great thing about it is that there is online registration.
Yes.
So maybe for the person that really encountered that at the very beginning, the first thing, registration is important. Registration is good. Please reach out to the online services and utilize online services, which are very easy. They've been made so easy and you can do it. Julius, I want you to wrap this up in just 1 minute. I want you to wrap this up and insist and actually stress the importance of having this knowledge, like you have been saying. Just stress it in 1 minute.
Okay, importance. Like I said, that fraud has consequences to both the employer and the employer. So to avoid such consequences, we need to look at the importance vis-a-vis the consequences. Like when a customer gets defrauded, the customer can take you to court litigation, there is loss of market share. So we need to reverse such. So if you have knowledge and your internal staff have knowledge about the anti-fraud awareness, it means you will avoid such scenarios. All the time they will think that the management is watching us. And mind you, employees are the eyes of the company. Yes. They are the frontliners. There are some companies which even don't have owners in Uganda here. Yes. So I'm encouraging them to take up services of anti-fraud awareness for employees and other stakeholders within companies at modest charge. You shouldn't mind about losing the extra dollar, because you have already put in dollars and pounds.
You're saving the bigger.
You are saving yourself, you are saving your reputation, you are saving your market share.
Yeah. And that's very important. And your reputation.
And your reputation in place.
Yes.
Because like I said, when you lose money, you lose nothing.
But
when you lose a name, you lose everything.
Yes.
People migrate and leave you.
Yes.
So before such a thing happens, you need to be proactive. Yes.
And that crowns it. When you lose money, you lose a name,
yes.
When you lose a name, you
yes.
lose it all.
You lose it all.
You lose it all.
And you can't convince them back.
No, you can't.
Yes.
So please take this in stride. Take this in stride. There is an ongoing campaign.
Yes.
You know, we are bridging the knowledge gap about how to fight fraud and the different ways in which it comes in. So please take particular note, business owners, institutions and individuals as well, who should be aware of how to keep your details safe. Thank you so much, Mr. Julius Odeke from Investing Financials Limited. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for joining us today. Let's meet again same time tomorrow. I'll be Doreen Kensha. This is Smart 24 TV. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you for hosting me.
Yes.
You're welcome. Yeah.